Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. Our today's lesson is about the 15th century poets, the 15th century English poets and their poetry, or the English Chaucerians. So in this video we shall learn about the 15th century English poets who are otherwise known as the Chaucerian poets. You know that Geoffrey Chaucer died in 1400, but he exerted a lasting influence on the English poetry for the rest of the Middle Ages. And his imprint was felt and resonated in every sphere of literature for the upcoming centuries. The successors of Chaucer, or the 15th century poets who followed and imitated Chaucer, were called the Chaucerian poets. To say simply, the followers and imitators of Chaucer were classified as English Chaucerian and the Scottish Chaucerians. Why the 15th century poets are called Chaucerian poets? কেন এদেরকে Chaucerian poets বলা হচ্ছে? The answer is simple. Because they followed and imitated Chaucer for subject matter, versification, and style. That is why they are called the Chaucerian poets. Chaucerian poets are divided into two groups. One group is called the English Chaucerian and the other group is known as the Scottish Chaucerian. চসারের অনুগামী ও অনুকরণকারীদেরকে বলা হয় চসারিয়ান পোয়েটস। চসারিয়ান পোয়েটসদের দুটো দল আছে, দুটো দলে বিভক্ত। এক দল হলো ইংলিশ চসারিয়ান আর অন্য দলটি হলো স্কটিশ চসারিয়ান। In this video, we shall mainly focus on the English Chaucerian and I shall make another video on the Scottish Chaucerian. আজকের এই ভিডিওতে আমরা ইংলিশ চসারিয়ানসদের নিয়ে আলোচনা করব। So, who were the English Chaucerians or who are the English Chaucerians? The English Chaucerians are Thomas Hawcliffe, number one, Thomas Hawcliffe or Hawcliffe. Number two, John Lydgate. Number three, Stephen House. Number four, Alexander Brackley. And number five, John Skelton. These poets are known as the English Chaucerians. English Chauceriansরা হলেন Thomas Hawcliffe, John Lydgate, Stephen House, Alexander Berkeley এবং জন স্কেলটন। প্রথমে টমাস হকক্লিফ। Thomas Hockley was a great admirer of Chaucer. He was more moralist than a pure poet. However, his chief work as a poet is his verse translation in Chaucer's Rhyme Royal of Aegidius de De Regimine Principum, that is, the regiment of princes. The regiment of princes is his chief work, is Thomas Hockley's chief work. He translated it from Aegidius De Regimine Principum. অ্যাজিডিয়াসের ডি রেজিমাইন প্রিন্সিপাম থেকে তিনি এটি ট্রান্সলেট করেছিলেন, দ্য রেজিমেন্ট অফ প্রিন্সেস। অ্যান্ড লা মেল রেগলে ইজ হিজ সেমি অটোবায়োগ্রাফিক্যাল ওয়ার্ক। লা মেল রেগলে ইজ partially autobiographical work. আংশিক আত্মজীবনীমূলক রচনা হলো লা মেল রেগলে। নেক্সট পোয়েট ইজ জন লিডগেট। জন লিডগেট ইজ one of the Chaucer's two main 15th century English successors. Chaucer is one of them, and the other being John Lydgate, whom we have discussed already. জেফ্রে চসারের দুজন মূল ফলোয়ার্স ছিলেন, ইমিটেটরস ছিলেন ইংরাজিতে, এবং তাদের মধ্যে একজন হলেন জন লিডগেট এবং অন্যজন হলেন থমাস হকক্লিফ, যাকে নিয়ে আমরা ইতিমধ্যে আমাদের আলোচনা সারা হয়ে গেছে। However, John Lydgate was a friend of Geoffrey Chaucer, and upon whom he modeled much of his poetry. But as a poet, he was no Chaucer. জন লিডগেট তিনি চসারের বন্ধু ছিলেন এবং চসারের উপর তিনি তার কবিতাগুলো লিখেছেন চসারের উপর ভিত্তি করে, কিন্তু তিনি কবি হিসাবে চসারের ধারে কাছে যেতে পারেননি। However, in his lifetime, he acquired immense reputation as a sheer versifier. His chief poems are John Lydgate's chief poems are Troy Book, The Story of Thebes, The Fall of Princess. এই তিনটি হলো তার মূল লেখা। নেক্সট ইজ স্টিফেন হাউস। Stephen House is the third of the English Chaucerians, and he was a disciple of John Lydgate. জন লিডগেটের তিনি ছাত্র ছিলেন। স্টিফেন হাউস জন লিডগেটের ছাত্র ছিলেন। And Stephen House is best known for his allegorical romance, a new genre probably picked up by Spencer as a medium of his allegory the Fairy Queen. Stephen House used both rhyme royal and decasyllabic couplets in his work. And the pastime of pleasure. The pastime of pleasure is his most important work. Next, Alexander Berkeley. Alexander Berkeley was a priest in Devonshire. He was a translator and a satirist. Alexander Berkeley is better known for his translation of the work of the German poet Sebastian Brandt, which he entitled as The Seed of Fools. Alexander Berkeley satirizes the vices and virtues of his own time, and he gives us a picture of contemporary English life. Berkeley's name is also notable in the history of English literature for his introduction of a new genre, the eclogue. Eclogue is a short poem in which the shepherds converse, in which shepherds exchange dialogues. In writing eclogues, Berkeley followed not Virgil but Mantuanus, another Latin poet. And the next English Chaucerian, the last English Chaucerian is John Skelton. John Skelton, like Alexander Berkeley, was a moralist and a satirist. Though a Chaucerian, but he, as a poet, was an innovator of new genre, and he experimented with the English poetic meter, and his meter is known as Skeltonic meter. His chief poems are The Bow of Court, The Turning of Elinor Ramming. He also wrote an excellent morality play whose name is Magnificence. Magnificence is John Skelton's morality play. So, this much for today's video. Please subscribe my channel. Thank you for watching the video.